now. Okay. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. What you want me to say? Hey.
Yeah. Like,
this lady here.
Mom is on point. She lit.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Tundra, here, farm mama of 10 plus 3, and I got a video for y'all. So I'm going to teach y'all how to plan for your homeschool week without all the drama. You don't have to do all the extra stuff. You don't have to be a teacher. You don't have to have a bachelor's, master's, and all those other degrees. You can do it according to your state laws, and I'm going to show you how to get it done. So stay tuned.
Praise God.
Alright, you guys, y'all are in for a treat. I'm about to show you guys my secrets on how I am able to just keep things sane as a homeschooling mother. So, I use a planner. Now, this is not like some big fancy homeschool mom planner. This is just a planner I found at a local store, and I use this. This thing is with me pretty much all day long, and this keeps me on board. I color code my different subjects. So I have red for ELA, science is orange, Bible is yellow, green is math, blue is reading, and then purple is social studies. I also color code my kids' folders and binders. So the different tabs inside of the binders are color coded. So if I get ready to say, all right guys, pull out your red folders, they all automatically know that the red folders are for ELA. So the video that I'm doing today is to show you how to do this. And before I jump into the how, I want to give you guys a few pointers, just some of the things that I think is very important and useful when you're doing these types of taking the time out to do these planning. And number one is to keep it simple. Sometimes we get so caught up in all of the jazz of homeschooling, and if you're not careful, that can take away from the actual fun and excitement of the reason why you chose to homeschool, which in most cases is to be able to spend that quality time with your children. So keep it simple. So let me give you guys an example. A noun is a noun. Always has been, always will be, regardless of what grade level the children are. So if you're going to teach nouns for this week, then you teach the basic. And if you have a higher grade level child that you need to pull some time away and go a little bit deeper, then that's what you do. But overall, you teach the nouns as one consecutive group, and then you go back and break down as you need to go. My next pointer is to always organize your day. You guys don't know how much smoother, how just more relaxed you guys will be if you somewhat organize your day. Now, there are times when I have to sit down 5 minutes before I wake my kids up and come up with a plan for the day. This is not always just set in stone. You know, things happen, life happens, and you have to learn how to roll with the punches. But try your best to organize your day. And you don't have to have no fancy planner. If you need to just take a plain piece of copy paper and jot down what you plan to do for the day. Take your time, organize your day. It is very important, because I'm telling you guys that nothing is worse than the kids being in their mojo and you guys having a good time and the lessons are going, and you look around and you forgot to make copies, or you look around and no pencils are sharpened, or there are no red crayons, you know. So try to organize your day, have an idea of what you're going to need for that day, and just try to be prepared. Like I said, life happens. Don't stress yourself out about it. But if you can, then try to organize your day. So for us, I have 2nd grade, 3 3rd graders. I have a 4th grader, a 6th grader, a 9th grader and a 10th grader this school year. So 8 children across different grade levels. So my high schoolers have to wake up at 6 o'clock, and that is a requirement that I have for them. It does not work for everyone's family, but I want them to be a little bit consistent with their wake up times. I do not wake my high schoolers up. They know that if I have to wake them up, they're gonna hear from me. They're gonna hear me fuss about it, because you're getting ready to prepare yourself for life outside of these doors, and mama's not going to be there to wake you up. So they have alarm clocks in their room. They know that they need to be in bed at a certain time, and I'm like one of those natural consequences type things. So if you stay up all night and you know you got school in the morning and you want to sleep in, that's not going to cut it. But the natural consequence is that you're going to be tired. So to prevent from doing that, you know, get to bed on time, set your alarm clock, and get up on time. So my other children, I like to call them the green group, and I guess I'll add my other 6th grader and 4th grader too. They all get up at 7 o'clock. So 7 o'clock is pretty much my set time for the kids to get up. So 7 o'clock we're up. We're eating breakfast no later than 7:30, and then after we eat breakfast, we do chores at 8 o'clock. Now, only 30 minutes, and it seems like it's rush, but it's break fast for a reason. No, you get up, you eat your cereal, or whatever that we fix for the day, or whatever you want to eat for the day, and you wrap it up. Because if the kids were in a school system, they would not have that time to sit there for an hour and lollygag and play and joke and all those things. And I'm not saying anything is wrong with that, because there are days when we just forget the schedules. They're out the window. But for the most part, we are up at 7, breakfast at 7:30, and we're doing chores by 8 o'clock. We do chores, deep chores, the night before to make our load lighter for the next morning. So usually the only thing we're cleaning up is a skillet or two that we use for eggs. We're big egg people, or a pan for biscuits and stuff like that, or cereal bowls. So we're not just doing like, oh, deep down, clean out the refrigerator type chores. No, this is wipe off the table, wipe off the countertop, load the dishwasher, and go on with the rest of your morning. So let's talk. How do I do this? So for me, the easiest way, number one, is to color code. I know not everyone is into color coding, but I love color coding. It makes things so much simpler for me. So for me, ELA is red. So my ELA, I start everybody off with a morning work packet, and usually it's something that I found off Teachers Pay Teachers, or it may be something that I grabbed off of the internet, or I grabbed a workbook, tore the spine off of it, hole punched it, dropped it into a folder or into a binder. So we do morning work. We do spelling. Not everyone do spelling. I understand that. We love spelling. We're going to continue to do spelling. So we do spelling. So on Mondays, the children are introduced to their new spelling words. And then on Tuesday, they write their spelling words. On Wednesday, they make sentences with their spelling words. On Thursday, they write their spelling words again. And then on Friday, we usually test. And I try to keep their things in a steno tablet, which I have to buy before Friday. One of the things that I forgot to grab. And we keep up with those spelling tests. And it's good for them to flip back through and see the grades that they made here, there, and try to focus themselves on studying a little bit harder. So we do spelling tests. So basically what I did for my ELA is I wrote in my morning work, and then I wrote in spelling. The kids by now, because we've been homeschooling for a very long time, they pretty much know what to do on what day. Okay, I have to write my words 10 times today, or I have to do sentences for my words today. They already know what to do. Or on Monday, when I introduce the words, we make flashcards for the spelling words. So they already know what to do by now. But if you need to add that in here, you need to add flashcards or writing sentences or repetitive writing. If you need to add those things in here, then you can. Science for this first week of school. We're doing what is science, and I just located those things on, again, Teachers Pay Teachers. We're doing what is science. So we're breaking down the overall ideal of science. And then we're also going to get into what is a scientist. So the job of a scientist, what that looks like for us in today's society, and how everything around us is connected to science as a whole. And then I have a lab experiment for this week that we're going to do on Friday. And it's a simple lab. We're just going to do an absorption type of lab to see the quality of paper towels across different brands. And then I also have, what'd you say? I can't hear you. What are you saying? But you interrupted me, so just go do what you're doing. Excuse me. Okay, so then we're doing our paper towel a lab or experiment on Friday. So part of that, different levels and different layers of science. So for my 4th and 5th grader, they're going to be introduced to the scientific method on tomorrow. Just for my 6th grader, it's going to be a refresher for her. 4th grader is more of like an introduction for her on the scientific method. And then on Friday, we're going to do the experiment / lab. For them, it will be more detailed and them having to actually do a lab report. For the smaller children, they will not. They will just enjoy the experiment. And then in the yellow section, I have Bible. And we're doing a memory verse challenge. Every week we get a new memory verse. Our verse this week is Matthew 7:7. And then also each day we do a devotional. And then on Friday, they do a challenge for that memory verse, and they get to pick out something from the treat box for knowing their memory verse. Moving right along, for my green tab is math. This week we focused on place value. Again, place value is place value in 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade. Place value will always be place value. Will it become more complex? Absolutely. For example, we're all doing place value this week, but for my 6th grader, she's doing place value with decimals. It does not take away from the fact that she still needs a refresher on the basics of place value. So she sits in the group with us while we go over the basics of place value. And then when I get the smaller kids to doing a worksheet or seeing what they recalled from the lesson, I pull away and steal time to take her a little step further, as in doing decimals or doing the higher place values, millions, and on and on and on. And then also this week we're doing skip counting. For the smaller kids, it's counting by 2s, counting by 5s, counting by, skip counting. For the older kids, it's multiplication. So skip counting is skip counting. It's just called something different when you get to the higher grade levels. So like I said, one of the biggest pointers that I could give you guys as a homeschooling mom when you're doing multiple children is not to stress yourself out thinking that you have to teach nouns, for example, thinking that you have to teach nouns for your 2nd grader, and then for your 3rd grader, and then for your 4th grader, and then for your 5th grader, and then for your 6th grader. No, don't waste your time doing that. Teach nouns to everyone, and then go back and pull time to get more specific with the older grade levels. And then for reading, for my smaller age group, we're reading the story A Fine, Fine School this week. And we're also doing vocabulary from the story. So on Friday, they'll have a vocabulary and a reading comprehension test that comes from the story A Fine, Fine School. And then last but not least, for this part, we're doing social studies. And I chose this year to do unit studies, where we will just take chunks of the year and study certain things. So starting out, we're doing the 50 states. So tomorrow, which is Wednesday, the kids will get a new introduction to the United States and all of its states. And we'll start there. We did not do social studies the first 2 days of the week. I don't know if that's going to change in the upcoming days, but as for right now, we did not do social studies yet. So that's that. So let me tell you guys this. Let me give you an example. Again, on Teachers Pay Teachers, there are a lot of resources there, you guys. So last year I bought some bundles that had basically the complete math curriculum for, I think I did 2nd, 3rd, and 4th graders. And on here it gives you a pacing guide. A pacing guide for the whole year, and it even gives you the week. It breaks it down into however many weeks is in the year, the school year rather, and it tells you what you're supposed to be studying and learning on each individual week. So how I make this work, and this is how I'm able to pull place value and add that to my calendar. I print out the pacing guides for each grade level like this, and then I basically go down and I highlight the different standards or the different topics that are alike. You don't have to teach things in the order that they're taught on here. Now granted, some things fall in order for a reason when it comes to doing math. You know, learn this before you can do this. Learn this, you know, multiplication and division before you can do certain types of, you know, fractions, and before you can do algebra. So, but some things just highlight the different things across the different grade levels, and then I marry those up and say, oh, I can teach this, this, and this on this day, and then I can scratch off this, this, and this from my list across the different grade levels. Again, this is a pacing guide. And I'm going back and forth in my master binder right now. Another thing that I found on Teachers Pay Teachers, I don't know if it's if it was cost, if it had a price, or if it was free. I'm not sure. I'll figure it out and I'll add the link down below. But it is a reading level assessment. Now I know not everyone do assessment when it comes to teaching your children to read, but I have seen many cases, and many mothers talk about their children falling behind in reading or not knowing their children's reading level. So I found this packet that has the different stories broken out into reading levels, and it gives you the guides to look for to know if a child has this many errors, or if the child has this many errors, to know what level of reading that child should be on. And then so I'm using this today. I did it with one of my 3rd graders, and actually he's he's a very advanced reader, but I was just curious to see where he was going to score it. And I'm planning on, as the days go by, to sneak this in over the next week with all of my children, to see where they are on a reading level at the beginning of the school year, so I can know if I need to pull extra materials in to be able to help our children reach their goals with reading. I'm telling you, for us, reading is so detrimental. We come from a culture or from a people who were not allowed to learn how to read, and now we have children who take reading for granted, parents who take reading for granted, and so many of our ancestors lost their lives for learning how to read. So I take reading very serious, and you know, anything that I can do to help my children in that aspect, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So, like I said, this is what's going to be a very brief overview of how I plan out my week for homeschool. And then if you guys want me to go a little bit deeper into how I pull together all of these resources, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Leave me a comment below. Please like the video if you guys want to see a part 2 of me going more in detail on how to plan out our school week, or maybe I'll do a month at a time and show you guys. So I'm hoping that this video will get at least 1,000 views, and then I'm going to post part 2 of this video. So if you guys want to see any other videos, let me know, and I will pull together all the resources that I have for you guys. And I'll talk to you later. You guys be blessed and have a great night. Bye.
First day of homeschool in Mississippi, Durham, Mississippi. That is our green team classroom, and it ranges from 3rd grade, 4th, 5th, 6th grade over there on that side of the room. Then here I have my class with my preschoolers in it.
We dropped the colors.
My preschoolers are very busy. Very busy. Not a day to be not asleep, not together. That's my niece. These are her children.
No,
and she
don't
homeschools
give
all
them.
of
That's
them.
the last one.
They're excited. They have their binders. They're putting their stuff together. And as you can see, my class, settle down. Savannah, please put your stuff back. One crayon at a time. Put your crayons back. No pointing your fingers. Let's keep our personal space. Personal space is your space right here next to you, okay? Let's all keep our personal space. Get you one crayon, Savannah. One crayon, okay? And color. They're doing Joseph, the Dream. And so they're coloring their book. We've read the story of Joseph because we do have a Bible, a biblical curriculum that they do in the morning. They do morning devotion and a morning prayer journal. Excited for this school year. And then there's one of my high schoolers. He's a freshman this year. Fresh meat. I forgot my pennies this morning. And then we have our sophomore down here. She's so intellectual. Look at her. She doesn't have time to really look up because she's really busy, hard at work. I'm excited.